Hello there. Today we are looking at a natural form era roller skating attire, because why not? People roller skated. This outfit is in my latest book, The Victorian Dressmaker 2, available now, and the hat and accessories are in the book, scheduled to be released in the autumn 2021. So let's have a look what is underneath all that and what a fashionable lady would be wearing out skating and not on the skating. Hope you enjoy it. Traditionally, combinations first, and these will keep the layers to absolute minimum, important when you're skating. What are we going to do first? Let's go for stockings. Now I have a different type of garters for these. These are, knitted garters with a button and a loop. And I have two different bits that a friend knitted for me. So I'm looking forward to trying them on. Okay, they're on. They will keep the stockings on when I'm skating. And I have a big hole in my stockings that I forgot from last time. Please disregard it. For boots, for skating, just a standard boot with a sturdy heel, so you can attach your skates, roller skates on. So let's get them on. All good. I think. I'm being a bit lazy, so I'm skipping some holes here. Don't want to match in the wrong way, but still holds good. Done. Corset. You don't actually need a specific corset for skating or ice skating. You can get one of the sports corsets or corsets with the insets, but it's not like you're doing, somersaults on wheels. So standard corset will be just as good. You have seen this corset before, so you're quite familiar with the look. And with the little hoop. Again, not everybody could afford specific corsets for every single sport activity or occasion. You probably would have 2 or 3. One if you didn't have much disposable income. And let's put a petticoat on, usual flowers up there. And for natural form, you can put a little bit of a bustle pad if you want your posterior to be nicely and rounded. Smaller or bigger, it doesn't really matter. It can go on top of petticoat or under the petticoat. Let me see if I can get this one on and if it makes any difference to my fashionable silhouette while I'm roller skating in a park. Just a little bit, so not much, but you never know, might look good. If not, easily discarded. corset cover. I may get sweaty, so it's good to have something to keep the sweat away from my dress. I'm getting better at those buttons. My goodness, buttons and no drama. Right, we have a skirt which is very tightly woven silk twill in the nice pattern. So it's brown with little blue flowers and a lot of flounces. It has a lace balayage underneath, mostly because you will see it as you're skating. Interestingly enough, you would not think that a skirt for skating would be with a train, but then again you can use it for many different other outings, and there are representations of skating women with a train, so I thought why not. Also, the gown has a little elastic at the back that keeps the skirt in place, but at the same time allows for movement. The skirt, the hook, and let's have a look. Not sure about the back actually. I might get rid of that little pad. Off with the pad. Now I have ties in the skirt that will keep the volume to the back. So these will tie behind my legs. Not too tight, I do want to have a decent stride for skating, but enough to be fashionable. That's too tight. Still too tight. Butter. And on top we have a polonaise with decorative back. And it opens all along the front with lots of buttons, but I'm lazy, so I buttoned the bottom ones up almost shut. And there we go. Polonaise. And hair everywhere. The polonaise is really very, very simple and plain. It has no decoration apart from the cut and the decorative buttons at the back. But because it's plain, it can be accessorized in a variety of ways. So for sportive pursuits, it will be just left plain because not much is needed. But if you put a different cuffs or fichu or jabot or cravat. You can change the entire look. You can also double up on some buttons and mismatch the buttons to create a little bit more interesting front. I've done that for one of the shoots, so you should see it on this side, I think. So just something a little bit different. The polonaise is made in wool and silk blend, which is a really nice and light fabric, but it flows nicely, drapes nicely, but it also breathes very nicely as well, which is important. So that's all the dress on. So if you want to go out and have a nicer bit, you just put a little bit of cravat here, different cuffs. You can put a fichu, all kinds of accessories. I've got another little cravat, I think. There you go. Lots of possibilities. Also, for going out, you might want to choose slightly nicer boots. These ones are originals. Laced boots in different leathers. And decorated leather too, and quite a good nick. I need to work on them a little bit more and see if they can be wearable. They definitely need new eyelets, because these are really rusty, and the new lace, of course. But, yay, original boots. Let's have a look. For going out with it's a bit cooler, you can also have your little shawl or pashmina, or a little mantlet or capelet. And these are great. This is an original one in boucle wool, and again quite plain. You can't much move your hands, but then again a lady would not be waving her hands over her head. But it keeps your shoulder nice and warm. You can also style the whole dress slightly differently for winter. I'm not going to put this on. This is a winter overskirt that I would be wearing with just this skirt over here and a different bodice over a blouse. And it opens on in front, it has huge pockets. It's based on a fashion plate from Harper's Bazaar, but it's also lined in quilted wool, so this would really keep you warm. And on top of that, you have a matching jacket, again in wool with decorative features and lined in quilted wool. It also sports decoration, both of these, in silk fur. There you go. This is basically silk fibres worked onto a fabric backing that has, well, basically pretends to be fur, but it's really nice to touch. Very rare nowadays, I'm not sure why, because that's a brilliant alternative to traditional fur. And contrary to the modern plastic furs and fibres, this one is fully biodegradable, so no problem for the environment, whereas our plastic furs are just plastic, horrible. So this one would be an overbodice to go with the other skirt, or even with this. It has a slightly looser cut and lots of buttons. But a nice and warm jacket if you're going out in the autumn or even winter, actually, depending on where you live. Let's have a look how it looks. I'm already too hot. Yeah, much too hot, but you can at least have some idea of the look of the jacket. I'll put some photos at the end of the video for you to see what it looks like. And to be honest, I do wear the skirt and the jacket just outside for history bounding, mostly because they're comfortable and really warm and a little bit different. It's really warm. But for now, let's just go skating. So, a hat. There you go. And a hat pin. And I think gloves. We're ready to go. And that's how I'll be holding up my skirt for skating. Let's see how it works. I hope not to fall down. So on a lot of fashion plates or drawings in newspapers especially, you see the roller skating ladies, there you go, from the natural form era, skating with trained skirts. So let's see how it works. No idea. That's the usual pose you see in the newspapers. That's not bad. Even a bit broken skate. Sort of works. The Victorian skates are not particularly safe. I dusted up my inline skates. Unfortunately, they're about 20 years old and it broke down, so we had duct tape. Still. Haven't done that for a while. Let's go for a walk. If you have enjoyed the presentation, you can support me with the Buy Me a Coffee, which is just a nice way to support me, I suppose. Really appreciate it. The link is at the end of the video. Not sure what else to say, I can't really market myself very well. I'm hoping to have some more videos for you shortly from different eras as well, as slowly the country is opening up so we can get our venues for different eras. We got this one here for Victorian, so we have loads and loads of Victorian stuff here in St Albans Park in West Quantock's Head. But hopefully I can get some different eras for you as well. And yay, let's get vaccinated.